This is Emanuel, and in just 3 weeks, he found the deal of a lifetime, negotiated an offer, got it accepted, found the EMD from a third party, me, and then found the buyer to sell it. Now, how did he do all of that? He's a member of the Flip Flop Flipper Apex community. And inside of Apex, he was able to find the buyer who's an operator. He was able to find someone who wanted to put up the money, and he's got the deal of a lifetime done, and is going to make $40,000 on his very first deal. So if that sounds good to you, and you want to be like Emanuel, comment Apex, and I'll send you the link.
All right, we are live. Welcome, guys.
Hola, everybody. ¿Cómo está?
Welcome to Dealmaker Shark Tank.
Dealmaker Shark Tank live.
Dealmaker Shark Tank. This is our first go at Shark Tank.
Shark Tank. All right.
So far, the Sharks have all said no on all of the deals.
But
we're gonna
not
have to get
today.
we're gonna have to get some sharks in here that'll actually buy some of these deals that people are bringing to us.
That's true.
I think we got some good deals showing up today, so let's see.
Hey, guys that are tuning in from YouTube, let us know where you're watching from today. Say hello in the chat here. We've got some good deals today, though. I'm pretty excited about our first one from Emanuel. Emanuel, you ready to come up? He is. I'm pulling him up. Hey, man.
Hey, man.
All right. So we've got a deal here in Caguas. Do we have any announcements before we get into that, guys? Or are we ready to go?
Join Apex. It's the most important announcement ever. This is how you get to see these deals before they show up on the live here. And stay tuned. A lot of people have been asking about bus tours and when we're going to do next live events. We'll have that stuff to you soon. And then, without further notice, Emanuel, take the floor.
All right. So I have a seller finance offer. I got accepted in Caguas. It is a 2-unit, 5-bed, 2-bath downstairs, 3-bed, 1-bath upstairs. Purchase price $250,000. McKenna, can you pull up the pictures, or should I, or how does that work?
I've got it here.
Cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that. That's not a bad looking ugly building. I like it. Okay.
Yeah. So it's 2 units. It was being rented out. It was making 800 downstairs, 800 upstairs. But the tenants recently left, and then that's why I'm showing it now, because it's way easier to show to people. People can go in now and, look at the house without all that clutter.
All this stuff is gone.
Yeah.
So you're going to go in and get new pictures, and you're able to show it. How many people do we have watching right now?
9.
We have 9 people watching. Hopefully, as this thing gets more views, you guys share this. So if you want to go see this deal with Emanuel, how with this format, guys, can they contact Emanuel later on? I guess if you're in Apex and you're seeing this, you can just DM him directly.
Yeah, if you're in Apex, you probably have my number.
If you're in the free community, you can send a DM on school.
Yep.
So this duplex is for sale. It was bringing in $1,600 a month. Emanuel, what is the deal that you're selling this?
So this, I got a seller finance offer accepted at $250,000. We got a monthly payment of $850 for 6 years, and you got a what is it? $40,000 down payment. That is including my fee.
Okay.
And then you got a balloon at year 6. And yeah, that's basically it. It's 0% interest too. So you don't have any interest added on it. You don't need to pay any interest. It's 0%, just $850. Everything goes to the principal. So I don't know how big of a balloon you're gonna have. You're gonna do that right now. I see you with the calculator, right?
Yeah, man. So $850 a month times 12, so $10,200 a month going towards principal. Purchase price is
250.
250, yeah.
A little bit more than that, though, right? With the assignment fees.
Oh, I guess it's more like 260. Yeah, and then if you add closing, let's say 264 with closing.
5, 6. So you're at 209,000 at the balloon. Actually, I guess it'd be you have a whole extra year, so you're at just under 200,000 at your balloon.
Right.
What do you think you're bringing in rents? Close to 2,000 on this thing.
Hey,
So
so before you go into those rents, Emmanuel, I'm recognizing this is the one you've been working on for a while, and the 5-bedroom, you were suggesting to me that it could be turned into a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Wouldn't that increase your rents if you did that?
Yeah, for sure. So it's pretty big downstairs, unnecessarily big, I would say. So I think the play is to divide and make a 3-1 and then a 2-1. And you could probably make from those two alone, what is it, like 1,800 a month? And then the 3-1 upstairs, you could probably make another 1,000. So I'd say if you divide that, you could be probably making 2,800 to 3,000 a month for sure.
How much would it cost to renovate this property, including putting a wall up to divide that? And I guess you'd have to add a kitchen or something.
Well, I guess I have to go see it. I estimated it last time, probably I'd say between 25 and 35,000. I don't think it's that much. It doesn't need that much work.
Well, let's use 35,000. Go on the high end, right? So then they need $75,000 to get into the deal.
Yep.
McKenna. So this helps with the calculations. $75,000 gets them into the deal. It's completely renovated at that point, and so you would get the top of the market in rents,
Which
we'll
is
call it $2,800 a month.
Are there separate meters for water and electrical?
I'm pretty sure there were 2 meters, so I'm guessing if you're gonna divide it, best play is to add another meter, so you could have all that separated.
The only problem with adding a meter is it sucks.
It adds a cost.
sucks.
So I've
It
done
really
this,
does
you guys, as a guy who likes to keep long-term rental properties. I don't recommend that you add in that other meter. Let's say that costs $15,000 to put in the other meter.
Yeah.
I'd rather just pay somebody's power, and let's say the power is $100 a month that I've got to eat on both units, because one of them's going to have its own meter, so I won't have to do that.
Yeah.
But then the others, let's say I spend $200 a month, I can pay a whole lot of months before I've spent 15 grand.
That'd be 2,600 after power and water. You don't need to calculate in the mortgage payment because this is a 0% loan. So all $850 of that, even though you're paying it to the seller, that's profit, man. Like you're just
straight
getting
to
that
the bottom line.
straight to the bottom line. You can't access it until you sell, but it's pretty good. So
Yeah, I think
what are
pretty
the
good.
expenses that you're going to have here? A management fee, maybe maintenance every month. What else am I missing here?
Taxes, you have taxes?
Taxes, I think with taxes, it's not in a too expensive of an area, so I don't think it's too much in taxes. Maybe $50 a month, maybe.
Okay.
So that'd be $600 a year. Does that sound right?
Yeah, something like that. And then maintenance usually is like 10% or 5%, depending on how you do it. And if depends who buys it, you don't have to pay a management fee. You could just manage it yourself, right?
But let's take out the management fee, another 10%. So you're at $1,950 a month in profit times 12. So you're bringing in $23,400 a year on a $75,000 investment.
That's 33% return.
It's pretty dang good.
Really, really good.
It's pretty good.
That's
It's pretty
really,
good. Yeah.
really good.
What do you
That's
think?
what happens with these 0% interest loans. That's what makes these deals work so well. Like, is that property worth a lot more, or even the $250,000 that you're paying for it? I'd say that that's questionable. Like, I don't think that it's only worth 150, but I don't think you have a ton of upside either. But where you really shine is that you have 6 years of 0% interest, and every dollar that your tenants pay goes directly to your bottom line. And definitely it's going to be worth more 6 or 7 years from now.
What do you think it will be worth in 6 or 7 years?
Have you figured that out, Emmanuel?
Caguas, yeah.
What do you think it's worth 6 or 7 years from now, Emmanuel?
6 or 7 years, it could get to to 300 maybe. Depends how nice you make it, right, and how well you maintain it. But
What
if
do you
you
think it's worth today renovated? That 250 that you're paying?
I
Or
think
260?
renovated 250, maybe stretching it to 270. I'm already, because I offered over what they were asking. So you're already overpaying a little bit. And even at their asking price, I would say they were asking a little bit too much. But just because you got, that 0% and such a low down payment, I think it's still worth it, right? So it's probably worth like 270 fixed up.
Okay. So if it's worth 270 fixed up today, I think 300 is a fair number 6 or 7 years from now.
What do you
Yeah.
do, like a 2% increase yearly, McKenna?
Yeah, you could do 2, 3, or 4, depending on how ambitious you are about Cogwis.
Let's do it at 2%. Stay on the, let's just be real reasonable. So if you start at 270, you go up 2% for 6 years.
304.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you're 304, and at the end of 6 years, you owe a
You
little
owe
less than
almost
200.
exactly 200.
Yeah.
So you're 104,000 in equity. You've paid 75,000, including your renovation. So your profit on the building is that 30,000, and you've been collecting rents that whole time.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you don't need very much money. So,
And what did we say the net rents are? 1,900 or something?
yeah, we said 2,800 minus 600 in maintenance and fees, minus 200 in electrical. Yeah, minus another 100 for something times 12. So that's 22,800. But we did calculate an equity pay down in that last figure. So if you take out the 850 a month,
take out 850 a month.
that's
And figure out what
10,200 a year. I messed it up. So you're at 12,600 a year in free cash flow. Plus, you're making 30 grand on the deal on a $75,000 investment.
And $12,000 on a $75,000 investment is what? What's 12 divided by 75? 12%?
15%. Yeah, a little bit
Pretty
less.
freaking good.
A little bit more.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's like $105,000 of profit over 6 years, divided by 75,000. So you're at 140% return divided by 6. That's a 24% net return with the appreciation. I like this deal. I like this deal a lot.
This is the deal I've liked the most so far. I mean, I would guess in 3 weeks of doing these deals, I can't remember one that was better, really, right? Like, this is pretty good.
So, hey guys, if you're watching this and you're interested in talking to Emanuel about getting this, put something in the chat right here so we can see your name, and he'll reach out to you. People that have been bringing us deals every week, this is a great deal. Maybe this should be the deal.
I mean, I would say, hey, where's Mario? Is he here? Because Mario, I think this could be a deal for you. Niels, if you're here, this is a deal that could possibly work really well for you.
For Elliot.
Elliot, if you're
Elliot
here,
asked me about it. Yeah.
This is one that could work for Elliot. Even Hector, I've been talking to Hector the last few days, and Hector's got the ability to go get an FHA loan, but
you probably don't want to do that.
You would not do that in this case. Not at
No.
least not for 6 years. You'd do that at the end of it. Anytime someone's going to give you 0% interest, you take it as long as you can. The other nice thing about this, guys, is that if you get this seller financing, and say you get into year 6 and you want to keep going with the seller, but you need to renegotiate with them, you can now go to them and say, hey, I owe you 200,000. Let's refinance it through you, the seller, and I'll do it at 3% or something, and you increase his payments a little bit, and you extend your time out. It's just something to think about. You'll already be friendly with them. You're already making payments for them that they're going to trust you at that point. So you have another shot at that as well.
Another
It's not a
thing to think
guarantee,
about,
but you have a shot at it.
what if you didn't renovate it? What if you didn't spend the $35,000 to renovate and split it? Your rents you were getting 1,600. Do you think you could get like 2,000 as is?
I think you could. I don't know.
We're pretty close
So
to as is, right? You
yeah,
probably have to clean it up some if people moved
Yeah,
out. Generally,
yeah.
that's the way it works.
So
because
if
you
got
have
2,000
yeah.
minus the 850 minus, we don't have to pay electrical now, but let's call it another $400 in taxes, maintenance, and fees, whatever. That would be $750 a month in rent. So $9,000 a year, but now you've only invested $40,000. Is that better?
That is better.
It's 22%. Plus, and you think the as is value on this is like 225, Emanuel?
I would say so. Yeah.
So if it was 225 today at that 2%, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you owe 200 on the back end, because that stays the same. Plus, you've been making 9,000 a year now in rent. Anyone got that off the top of their head?
9, 18, 27,
54.
54.
Is that right?
Yeah. 54 grand plus another 30. Is that right?
Plus another 50.
Plus another 50. So you actually make more.
Yeah, I think you do.
I think you make more.
Because you're not spending that extra renovation money.
Even though we may not be factoring in enough on the upside because you do the renovations, right? Like
that's true. But if you made $107,000 on a $40,000 investment, guys, did I do that math right? Tell me what I'm looking at.
I think you did, right? So you have $2,000 a month.
That's a 45% return if you don't renovate. Damn.
Wow.
And that's just the power of getting into these deals so cheap.
And guys, think about it this way too. At the end of 6 years, you can go and renovate it, and you still could bring it up to the 300,000. I mean, if it's going to be renovated and worth 300,000, and you renovated it now, actually, it's probably worth more if you renovate it in year 6, because it'll be more updated, right?
It's true, but then you have to spend more money, which I think hurts.
Yeah, but you do it right at the end. I mean, you treat it as a flip at the end.
Emanuel, Brandon Souls is asking, when are you looking to close?
I mean, as soon as possible, man. I know they've had it for, I think, almost 2 months now, and the problem we've had is that we couldn't show it to anyone, because of the tenants. So, we were kind of stuck there, and not being able to see it is kind of a problem, right? But right now, the only thing that's stopping us is finding a buyer, really. So we could find a buyer, we lock it in, and we could just, close as soon as possible. I think probably if you're going to do your due diligence, you could do 15, 30 days. That's pretty common, right?
Yeah. Alan's asking, what's the total upfront cost? It's $40,000 plus closing cost, Alan.
Yeah, 40,000 plus closing.
Unless you do the renovation, then it's 75,000 plus closing.
Yeah. It could be less if you get, good quotes and you don't do as much, but if you're
really
gonna do,
it's probably 40,000 plus closing costs plus cleaning and painting and little things.
You're gonna, you know what? You're gonna seal the roof, right? Like there's nothing we've ever bought in Puerto Rico that we don't seal the roof. You're going to probably go in and paint the inside of the property. Looking at the outside of it, it doesn't really look that bad, but you may paint it inside and out. So you're going to spend a little bit of money to spruce it up. But the pictures that you have of it, it looked pretty good on the inside.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Like it had tenants, right? I mean, that goes without saying.
Livable. It's livable.
Tenants can live anywhere, because look at your properties over in Florida. That guy was living in a crap hole, right? But
well, I think that place was killing him, though, Emanuel. Tenants shouldn't be living like that.
Right, but as is, look at it. It's pretty nice. It's not that bad.
It is pretty nice.
So
somebody's asking in the chat, you guys, Don or Emanuel, somebody's asking for the link here to join us, I think, in our Apex chat. Do you see that on WhatsApp?
If you're looking for the link, well, they probably can't see. It's posted in Apex. Hey guys, if you have a deal that you want to present, the link to join the stream is in Apex. I'll post it here.
Are we able to see who's watching and any
No.
of the people that I named earlier who we know are looking for deals? Are they watching today?
You can't see.
You can't see that.
Can't tell that, huh?
Alan is asking. I see is that Alan the one that's asking?
Yeah, Alan's
Well,
asking
so
for the cap
upfront,
rate.
With
Robert,
Renault,
we lost
50K with roof cap rate. What's the cap rate? If it's 2,800,
Wasn't
if
it
you
40?
fix it up?
Alan, if it was 60K, it's like a 25 cap.
Wow.
That includes appreciation, right? I don't think, Alan, that it's necessarily 60,000. I think the roof is cheaper than you're thinking it will be. I think sealing a roof.
You know, we're leaving a really important piece of this off too. This revenue that you would get, this would almost certainly just be long-term rents. You're not doing a hotel there. You're not doing Airbnb. This is just rent to the families that live in the neighborhood. Long-term rents, and guys, that's non-taxable money. I mean, so that's a really big deal, right? Like whatever your other revenues are or income are on the island, this rental property is going to throw off whatever we've been talking about, and you don't have to pay taxes on that revenue.
Do you include taxes in that? What is it? What are the taxes, like $2,000?
Yeah.
We included
like
taxes.
600.
We thought about $600 a year. Is what Emanuel said.
I mean, I would say so because it's Caguas. It's not, it's not San Juan. I don't think taxes is going to be too much.
Alan's asking for the net operating income divided by market value. So I think, Alan, that you're paying $260 on this. The math was you're netting $9,000 a month in rent, but that does not include the payment.
$9,000 a year in rent, right?
Yeah. So if you're doing a cap rate, you need to include that $850. So that is plus 9,000.
It's almost $18,000.
That's $19,200 a year in net operating income, and you're paying $260. So that's a 7 cap. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right.
Sounds about right. I'll do it. Let's see.
That is right.
19,000 divided by 260. Yeah, 7.3.
But I think, Alan, where it gets more exciting is when you include appreciation and the 6-year projection. It's
I think where it gets exciting, guys, is that it's such a small barrier to entry.
Yeah, 40,000.
That is 0% interest, right? Like putting down $35,000. You do that if you were to go get a loan, but if you put these deals side by side, and say you bought it at 2.25, getting a bank loan, versus buying it at 250, getting 0% interest loan, buying it at 250, paying that extra 20 or 30 grand, it still massively outperforms over time, especially when you've got like 6 years.
So, guys, just to sum this deal up, purchase price is $260. You get a 0% interest loan, $40,000 down. If you are interested, contact Emanuel. I think that you make more money if you don't renovate. My math says it's a 44% return on investment on I did a $40,000 plus closing cost price, but really it's probably 45 or 50 with painting and maintenance and things like that. So if you guys are interested, put your hand up in the chat. Emanuel is going to take down names. You can reach out to him on Apex or through the Flip Flop Flipper community. I think this is probably the best deal we've seen on here. Anything else we want to talk about before we move on to Brandon? Brandon, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I think that good job, Emanuel. Just looks like a winner.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I hope someone likes it in the group.
And we'll make a post about this too, guys. If you're interested, reach out. I mean, this is This is what we've been looking for. This is. I'm not gonna. I mean, obviously, it takes a lot of work. You got to find renters. You got to manage a property for 6 years. But when people ask about what a good deal looks like, this is what a good deal looks like. I think.
What a cute little baby you got there.
You people.
You
Step
people
back
have
here.
babies? I only Emanuel has a baby.
And Dan has one too.
You both have an Emma, don't you?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I'm going to bring up Brandon, guys. Emmanuel, thanks for being here, man.
All right, man. Thanks to you guys. Talk to you later. Hope someone go text me, guys. Text me and find out more about the deal if you want to buy it.
Before you
job.
go, Brandon Souls is saying, Alan Damasy, I'm able to handle any of the renovations in Congress for you. For painting and resealing the roof for the property will be around $5K. Remodeling would be around the $35K they mentioned. That would be you doing a split, and that's a new kitchen, and that's a big renovation. So, guys, if you're interested in hiring Brandon, reach out to him on the school community as well.
It's really good
Cool.
to have contractors in here. Brandon, I love that you were able to kind of chime in there. I know nobody's going to hold you to your stuff without going out and giving a full quote, but we want more contractors in our community, guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
share it with everybody. The bigger we get, the more the community can partner with each other and do things. So it's really fun to see people showing up that have different skill sets.
All right. Now we're going to move on to Brandon. Brandon,
Same Brandon or
Ungodly
different
Money
Brandon?
Souls, who is just talking in chat here.
Hey,
Hey,
Brandon.
you're on mute, Brandon.
Hey guys,
Hey, so
How
you're
are
willing
you?
to renovate this one, huh?
absolutely. Why not? I'm loving what you guys are doing out there, man. You guys have really been like inspiring, to say the least, man. We've got so much we're looking at right now. I mentioned previously one that was going for 260 in San Sebastian. I think you pronounce it that way.
San Sebastian?
Yeah, San Sebastian. See, it's currently it's a shell basically. It's got 3 floors. On the first floor, I'm thinking like a little retail spot with a laundromat. And
Okay.
then on the other areas, since they're wide open, I'm thinking about converting them into units. Previously, they were just commercial spaces, but there's literally no walls, just a couple bathrooms, one on each floor. So I'd love to know what your thoughts are on that, man. At that number, I was thinking there'd be space there.
Do you have pictures of it, Brandon?
Let me see if I can pull them up. Am I able to share here?
Yes. You hit that present button.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull one up here. Give me a second. Golly, I had them in my phone. That might take some time to find.
So it looks like you and Mike Ruska watched the Dave Steck video, huh?
Man, that stuck to me like glue.
He's
What
good.
was,
Man.
what was that?
The interview you just released with Dave Steck yesterday.
What part of it was the best part? Making embarrassing money,
ungodly,
or
the ungodly, the embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I would say I would say all of it actually. Just to see him, being on the island that long, you guys just connecting just now, kind of motivated me to okay, this community thing is growing as we're speaking, and
Brandon, you're pretty new to the community, right?
super new, man. Yeah, I'm still under the trial basis. That's how new I am. I think I got till tomorrow, whatever it is, something like that. But
Well, I hope you liked it.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, and
I'll
we
be
need
joining. Don't
contractors.
worry about it, guys. I'll be joining. Yeah, I'll definitely be joining. But yeah, so I would love to I'm sorry, I can't even find it right now, man. It's in San Sebastian, but I can't pull it up.
Do you have a listing that you saw, or did you see it on Facebook somewhere? Maybe McKenna or Adon could find it.
Yes, I do. Give me a second here. So as I was saying, I was thinking about converting it into multifamily, with one retail spot remaining. Looking for the MLS number. Give me a second here.
While you're looking that up, Nancy just asked, is Emanuel doing this deal and wanting a partner? He is looking to wholesale this deal to a group. Guys, I know Nancy is looking for deals like this, but I also know that Nancy doesn't want to be the operator in this kind of deal. So if Nancy's interested, maybe someone can reach out to Nancy and form some kind of partnership. But yeah, he is just looking for a buyer.
Well, yeah, I think in this case he's trying to still put some money together, and he's got a baby you saw earlier, and he needs to move out of a house that he's in with in-laws. So, but I think in the long run, we're going to have Emanuel doing deals. He's going to become an operator, not just a wholesaler. So,
yeah. Brandon, any luck?
Let's see. I'm hitting the link right now. I think so, though. It's loading. Yep. 1 second to get back to you. Share it.
Also, guys, we've got 36 people watching right now. Everybody hit the like button. And we've got 36 people, but nobody's messaging. So come say hi in the chat. Tell people where you're watching from. Let us know what you thought of Emanuel's deal. Let us know what you think of Brandon's deal here. Love to interact with you.
So this is the property here.
It looks like it. There it goes. It's loading.
oh, okay.
Let's see if I can get this. Oops, sorry. There you go.
So is that a rendering of the property,
So
or
yeah,
is that what the property looks like in real time?
that's what the property looks like in real time.
It looks fake.
So
That's a big property.
it doesn't look like it belongs there, right?
Yeah.
That's not AI, right?
No.
There you go. That looks like a real photo.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you see inside, yeah, it's just wide open, man. See, these are the little bathrooms I mentioned. I feel reconverting these into actual living spaces is going to be rather easy because you have these walls that you could actually build to code, where you have a firewall between each. It's just the fact that it's wide open like this gives you a lot of opportunities.
Look how, I mean, that place is, you said it's a bit of a shell, and yeah, I guess maybe that's the way to describe it, but this is in good shape. I'm assuming if you take
Agreed.
those ceiling tiles down too, you've got high ceilings and places.
Yeah, look at that.
Exactly.
It's solid concrete up there.
Yeah,
How much?
yeah,
right.
exactly.
I don't see any exposed rebar. I'm sure there is some, but
Building looks like it's in good shape. So where is San Sebastian? Can you fill us in? Is that like middle of the island,
It's
sort of
on
near
the
Cox?
west. It's on the west.
on the
It's over by
west.
the falls. Yeah. It's not on the coast though. It's about 40 minutes away from the coast, south of Isabella.
South of Isabella. Okay.
Yeah,
And this
Yeah.
this is in the Pueblo then, I suppose?
correct. Like you could walk to the Pueblo.
Yeah. Well, I can see why you would like it, especially being a contractor.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, one of the highest return on investments that we've seen when we think about highest and best use. And by the way, guys, this is absolutely the kind of building that I like to tackle and turn it into housing. But one of the highest and best uses is usually going to be turning those into apartments, and you get pretty good rents. That long-term rent is tax free. Have you made an offer on it?
This is the one I asked you about. So I sent them a text, like you said. I haven't heard back yet.
What did I suggest?
Oh yeah, sorry. I think it was at the last Thursday. I had asked if you guys had any letters of intent, and you said I just
and you were able
text
to get that from Nisha, right? That LOI.
No. I just ended up texting. You guys were like, I just texted my offer and then see what comes after that. Haven't heard
What'd you
back from him
offer?
yet, though.
What'd you offer?
2 options: a cash, all cash at 60.
Okay.
I love that.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
I'm your
Yeah,
partner if you get them to say yes at 60, and I don't want to buy anything. But if they say yes, we're in business, brother. We're
okay,
buying
good
another
to know.
project. My partner Dave is gonna be upset with me, but I just have to say, if you get a building that looks like that for 60K, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's sweet.
makes sense. Good to know.
And,
Good to
and
know.
what was your second offer?
The other offer, the second offer is a seller financing at 0% at their asking price, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
With
I like
a
both offers.
very
Yeah.
How much
think
down
it's
on the
almost-
seller financing?
just to cover the real estate agent, I threw in, I think it was 10.
Man, 0 down, 0% interest. I love that.
10 grand
Brandon
down.
makes
Yeah,
good
pretty much.
offers, guys.
Yeah, you guys heard this offer that he made. You guys, McKenna, it's a good point. So week in and week out, we get here and we listen. Hey, I looked at this building. It was for sale in this instance for 260, and they'll take 220. Well,
Mhm.
okay, but we like starting at 60. That's like, honestly, Brandon, that's the first time someone has said an offer where I'm like, well, I might have offered more than that to start with. Usually I'm thinking, go lower. So good job. That's called the run to the bank thing. Like if
Yeah.
they say yes at 60, you just get you don't say anything else other than, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Where do you want the
Yeah,
check? Let's go. We're done.
I figure it's easy to find 60.
It's easy to find 60 on something that looks like that.
So what would you guys do with this building? Would you turn it into a hotel or just do condos?
I would turn it into long-term rental apartments. It's a big building.
That's what
Does it say how many square feet it is?
give me a sec. $6,600 square feet
Perfect.
building
Oh,
size.
so it's 2,200 square feet of floor probably.
Yeah,
Um,
I was
if you
thinking
wanted
one
to-
bedroom.
If you wanted to
maybe
go
two.
super nice condos or apartments, you could do 2 per floor at 1,100 square feet, but you could probably do 3 per floor at
Yeah,
700 and something square feet, right?
yeah.
And those would be
At about-
pretty
at
good.
about-
So you get 6 apartments on the second and third floor, and then do commercial on the ground floor.
That's what I was thinking right there. That's
Yeah, if you
exactly.
had 6 2-1s, you could probably fit a 2-1 pretty nicely in 733 feet. And it's commercial on the downstairs. What do you think rents are in San Sebastian
They're probably cheap as hell. It's probably $600, $700.
for a 2-1?
Yeah,
What if
for
you did have?
700 for one, maybe 550, something like that. But again, these are going to be done really nice. So I'm probably on the low end right
What if you had a 3-2? What do you think the rent is?
there. Downtown Pueblo, 1,100.
Okay.
Well, your renovation goes up if you put in the bathrooms, but you got to put in bathrooms anyways. And so
Yep.
it wouldn't be that hard to do 3 2-bedroom, 2-bath, or 2 2-bedroom, 2 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartments, and 1 3-bedroom, 2-bath apartment per floor, or something like that. You would want to
Right.
pencil out all of these different options and figure out what your rents would be. The other thing that I think you might want to look at, Brandon, if they come back to you and start to let you know that they're serious and that they're negotiating, look at the Section 8 list, Plan Ocho. You can find it, I think, by Googling it. I was talking to Hector about this the other day. Actually, can somebody pull up what Section 8 pays in San Sebastian
I'll
for the
Google it right
different
now.
apartments? It's out there. We've seen it before. So,
Mhm.
and then you just back into your number. That's what's so cool about this. Is you just, again, buying it right is really what's key, right? If you have to pay $260,000 cash and then put another $250,000 in it, and you're only going to get $500 or $600 a month on rents, it's not going to work out. But
Exactly.
If you get it cheap enough and you can do the renovation, and Brandon, what do you think it would cost to renovate a place like this if you were going to do 6 apartments plus the commercial space?
I had it in my head. Give me a second. I want to make
Hey,
sure I see it right.
I've got the list here while you're doing that math.
Yeah,
What city's closest to San Sebastian?
Isabella.
Isabella. What about Mayaguez?
It's a little bit south of there.
Yeah,
So
Mayaguez is a little bit more run. I mean, Isabella is a nice city. I think San Sebastian, little bit higher end than Mayaguez, maybe. Although Mayaguez has the university too, so maybe I'm wrong.
Do you see anything on this list that it's closer to, though?
Let me see. I can't see the list. I kind of.
so the renovations or the remodeling is somewhere about 125. For all of them.
Somewhere
So-
around 125,000 for 6 apartments.
For 6 apartments, yeah.
Oh man. We're gonna do business together. Adon, get this guy's number. We're having him quote. Let's have him quote our next job.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna spend more than $125,000 to renovate 2 floors and 6 apartments, but
I'm lucky enough.
but I'm not gonna fight you on it either, Brandon.
Hey, listen, this is a partnership, guys. I do a lot of the work in-house. So
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Crypto Tiana says Aguadilla pays $670 for a 2-bedroom, Section 8.
Voila.
Oh, you're right.
Okay. It's probably similar, right? So
I would think so.
what about a 3-bedroom, Tiana? And does an extra bathroom matter that much?
Not for Section 8, but
I wouldn't have space in this location. I don't think for extra bathrooms.
I'll tell you
Brandon,
what.
I think
Max had like
both of your offers are good. I would just keep following up with them until they give you a no or a counter or a yes. You know, if they say yes, that's great. But
The closest is Mocha. So if you want to check Mocha real quick before we go.
There you go, Mocha. Mocha's real.
Yeah,
close.
and Brandon, really, if they say yes to 60 grand and you're trying to figure out how to close tomorrow, just call me.
I got you. Noted.
$850 for a 3-bedroom. I think the next thing, man, is don't let them ignore you. You know, keep messing with them until they give you an answer, and then make more offers like these. You're gonna need to make 10, 20. I mean, with your offers, you're gonna need to make like 50 offers until someone says yes. But when you do get that yes, it's gonna be really good.
That's valuable information, man. Thank you.
Yeah, don't get discouraged too. Like it's almost it really shouldn't be that you get your first offer accepted, right? Like that's not very typical. So if you offer them 60 and they say yes, I mean it's like a minor miracle, and then we've got to run out there and inspect the building and make sure that it hasn't like half fallen down because of an earthquake or something like that, right? But believe it or not, if you make that offer often enough, somebody's going to say yes. Or you know what you'll get a very angry person who'll say, I can't believe you offered me $60,000. I couldn't take less than $67,000. And then you say, all right.
I'm sorry I offended you.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Great.
that's
Good
a true
information,
story,
man.
guys. When I was first starting out, I can remember having a phone conversation with a guy that was very offended at my offer.
Yeah.
He cursed me out. He hung up on me. And literally the next day, he called me back and he said, if you'll come up $2,000, we have a deal. And I closed on the deal. And it was, it was back in the day, this was probably a $20,000 condo I was buying. It was in Altamont Springs, Florida. And
Very reassuring.
I ended up paying 22. I offered him 20, paid 22,000 for it. This is probably back in the late 90s. But my point is, I got yelled at for 10 minutes before he hung up on me, and then the next day, for a couple grand, I got the deal.
Yeah.
So
It was worth the yelling.
don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Yeah.
And that's so common that similar things have happened to me. When I was wholesaling full time, I'm making offers just like yours, Brandon. People get upset. They're hanging up on you. And then when they finally come back with a counter, it's still like, I don't know, 90 grand. They're 150,000 off they're asking, but they just needed a little bit more. And that's reasonable to them, but 60 wasn't. And you just had to discover that. And that happens a lot.
Yeah, and I think about this building that you just showed us. When is that ever going to be an office building again, right? Like, so it has to be sold to someone like you that's going to reimagine it and is going to put it back together for something that's more usable. Because I'm sorry, nobody's renting that second and third floor to put their office in it probably ever again, right? Like those kind of buildings. Their usefulness has died.
Agreed.
So they
and
need
it's bought and
a
paid
use
for,
case
and
change.
exactly, it's bought and paid for, and I figure maybe the sellers just wanted the cash. Sure, I'll take the 60.
Yeah, and if he's had it for a long time and he used to get cash flow, maybe your seller financing offer makes sense too. So, yeah, awesome, great job, man. Nice to meet you, and welcome to Apex.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you.
We'll see you on Thursday, right?
See you on Thursday, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, who's next?
I think it's me. I think I'm next.
Oh,
Let's talk about Monroe, Louisiana.
all right.
Look at that.
All right. So, guys, I have a deal. I'll present it to you guys. You tell me what you think. I just went under contract this week on 49 homes in Monroe, Louisiana. Let me see if I can pull up some photos here. I'm paying $2.6 million, or that's what I need to raise. I'm actually paying a little bit less, but I need some money for renovations as well. And let me pull up the photos of how these houses look, and then I'll go into my rental numbers and everything like that. How do I find the photos? I'm just like everybody else. I'm not prepared.
You know what's pretty cool though is we've been going for 47 minutes, and because we have had like interesting deals to talk about, at least for me, it feels like it's going pretty fast.
I think so too.
Except when the people presenting the deal can't put their pictures up there of the 49 houses.
I know. All right. Well, here's what I've got, guys. So these are the locations of all the 49 houses. All of the blue ones are my houses that I have under contract. The green ones are sold data, and the red ones are currently on the market. So that's just you can see my distribution of houses. Most of them are in this area here, with just a couple north of I-20, but the majority of them are down here. I'm paying, it's about $53,000 a house. Pull up my IRR calculator. My plan for this deal, what do you think? Should I go into my full plan?
Yeah, because guys, we've kind of been talking about it the last couple of weeks. We've stumbled onto or have been kind of getting hit in the face with this seller financing stuff where we create a couple notes and sell them off. So now we're implementing something that we've talked to you guys about. So if we pull it off, you'll see us do it in real time.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll put it on YouTube and tell the world, hey, this is the greatest thing we've ever done.
So with these houses here, the total rental profit is about $170,000 a year, which is not great on $2.6 million. What does that calculate out to? 170 divided by 2.6. That would be a 6.5% return on a $2.6 million cash investment. So that's not super exciting. And if I didn't know about this note stuff that I'm learning about, I probably would not be able to do this deal. My plan, though, is to buy all of these houses and then sell them using seller financing to the current renters and get a sale price based off their current rent. So you can see some of these people are paying as low as $400 a month in rent, What I did is I took that sale price, turned that into a 30-year mortgage. If their payment was $475 at a 9% interest rate, that means they'd be buying this house for $59,000. So that's how I came up with the sale price for all 49 of these. My plan too is to raise, especially these bottom ones, up. Even if I can get the payments up $100 or $200 each, it pencils out to an obscene amount of money, as Dave Steck would say. It adds a couple $1 million in profit on the back end if I could get.
I don't know if it's quite embarrassing, but it's really good.
It's pretty, especially on these shit boxes.
Yeah.
Especially these ones down here where I'm showing a paper loss. I'm paying $53,000 a house, and this one's 49.52. Now all the rest of these are obviously way above, and that counteracts them. But I think I can get all of them up to around a $70,000 sale price. But just using the current numbers here, I'm showing a $3.651 million sale price for all 49 off of my $2.6 million investment. Then my plan is to sell the first position notes with a 70% loan to value. That gets me my $2.6 million back. So I'm giving myself 2 years to do that, leaving $1.1 million in second position 9% notes. If I pull up my IRR calculator, I've got it cash flowing or I've got an IRR of 18%. And then over the lifetime of this deal, you can see you're getting payments for the rest of the year. I also went through and I took the projected payoff rates on these mortgages to factor in some early payoffs, some refinancing. So you can see that as the years go through, you have less and less mortgages. And so your remaining mortgage balance goes down, including, these are getting paid down, amortized, obviously. So 2.6 million goes in. You get 2.68, and this is just the cash flow for the investor, the money I'm trying to raise. You get the 2.685 back out at the end of year 2, and then you get for the next 32 years payments of 60, 95, 91, 76, and that leads to an 18% IRR. Mike is asking if the 49 homes are in a flood zone. They are not in a flood zone. From what I can tell, they're
definitely on the wrong side of the track, though.
It's definitely not a great part of town.
Yeah.
This section here is all flood zone, and then down here is flood zone. This green one's, none of these green ones are mine. Mine are the blue ones, so I'm good. I'll pull up the LSU flood map. I've been looking at it. But yeah, that's my plan. And I think that doing this note thing has allowed me to create a deal that no one else can do. I've been speaking to locals. They don't see the vision. They don't think that I can come in and, rent these houses or flip these houses to people because people won't qualify for loans. But using seller financing, now we're the bank and we're able to help people buy their first homes. We're going to get people in this community home ownership. I think we're going to increase values in the neighborhood. I think it's going to be good for everyone all around.
We're going to do something else that the big boys kind of do sometimes. We'll be able to, with the first few, because if you see the cluster of houses, they're very near each other. We'll be able to create our own comps. So the likelihood is that we would be able to sell some of them. We'll raise the values in these neighborhoods, even if it's just because we're selling our own houses. But I think it becomes self-fulfilling if we're successful with this mortgage note idea. How much effort so far, McKenna, have you put into it? So this kind of came to us about a week ago, 10 days ago.
Yeah, I went under contract on Friday.
And I'd say it's safe to say we talk about this deal every day. And you've done a lot of work up to this point. How many realtors have you talked to in the area, guys? So we're not familiar with Louisiana. We don't know this area at all. So we're trying to educate ourselves. And I'm asking the question because I know the answer. But how much time have you been on the phone thinking about this every day? And
I'm spending 3 or 4 hours a day talking to people about this. I've probably spoken to a dozen different realtors. I've spoken to the #1 realtor in all of Louisiana. He was very excited to tell me that. And he's actually from nearby, so he knows the town. He was able to have a very good conversation with me about it. But yeah, I'm speaking to people every day, and then I'm flying to Monroe, Louisiana next week on I guess it's 2 weeks from now, on the 3rd. Yeah, next week, 7 days from now.
It's next week. We go on next Tuesday.
I'm gonna go inside every one of these houses. I'm gonna be making sure that they're not burned to the ground, that they're not $15,000 crack houses. Because let me pull up some Zillow listings.
Guys, the other thing we'll do is we're going to go look at nice houses while we're there. We're going to go look at the most expensive houses in the area that we're buying houses in. We're going to go look at the worst houses. So if there are houses that are worse than what we're buying in the package, maybe we'll be able to buy up individual houses and improve upon this deal. But we're going to look at everything and take a crash course in Mobile, Alabama. Where are we? Not Mobile, Alabama.
Monroe, Louisiana.
We're going to take a crash course in Monroe, Louisiana, and really kind of learn this area on the fly. And look at these houses. They're not even that horrible looking.
These are my houses.
These are in the package.
We get a Dallas Cowboys house, but you can see the inside of this one looks great. I'm sure some will be worse than others.
Yep.
These are my houses. See, something like that. Not super excited to own that, but I think it's very reasonable to find someone that would want to live there and buy that for $50,000 or $60,000, especially if I can be the bank. They can come in, hopefully I can get $5,000 down. That would be my plan. But even if I can only get, 2 months worth of payments up front, $2,000 or $3,000, and they can still get in this home, it's pretty exciting. And then I'm going to be running these notes through a loan processor. Sorry, Mike. I'm going to have the tenants pay that fee as part of their payment. I'm going to have 2 notes. I'm going to sell the first position notes, and I'm going to have 49 second position notes. So yeah.
Maybe Mike will come in and partner with us, and he'll want to throw in some money and be the processor.
So when I see something like this is 40,000. I'm hoping that my houses look like this, because I think what's really happening here is the people that would live in this home can't qualify for lending. And that's the issue, right? That's why this home's sitting there, is these people aren't getting creative. They're not doing seller financing. They're just letting this thing sit, and they're waiting for, a buyer that can qualify to come and live in this thing. Whereas if I'm making my own loan, it's a lot better. And then you got stuff like this for $119,000. Look at that.
Look at that beauty.
Yeah. Is that 2 different homes? It is.
That's 2 different homes.
2 homes for $120,000. Anyways, any other thoughts on this deal? Guys, if you have questions, let me know.
I would love to hear the feedback. I mean, do you guys think we're absolutely insane I'm gonna fly from San Juan, Puerto Rico on Tuesday to fly out on Wednesday with McKenna, or am I flying on Monday to fly out on Tuesday? I don't remember. But anyways, we're gonna give it a shot, right? And we could get there. And even with all of the work that McKenna has done and everything that we've researched so far that kind of keeps us moving forward, we could get there and figure out that, wow, this is worse than anything we could have imagined, and we won't end up doing it. But it feels like we're probably going to get there and find something that we think we can make some money on. So, and I get that we are a little crazy but I have done this. Like I did this in Jacksonville, Florida. I bought 35 houses that were in the wrong side of town and rented them out for years. And as much as I dislike Jacksonville, we still made $1 million.
Yeah. And So let me show this one too. This one is $30,000. It's nice, but this is a flood zone. So this is a super nice house that I think the issue is that it's in a flood zone. The majority of my package is not, and this is, 30 grand. So if that's 30 grand and you're in a flood zone, you would have to think that it's 50, 60, 70, not in the flood zone, especially if you're offering financing.
Well, even if you're offering financing in the flood zone, again, it's more of about a payment, right?
Yeah.
Than anything else. Does the number matter to the guy who's buying it, other than, hey, it's going to be $600 a month, and I own a house, and then we get to back into what's the interest rate on that? How long do you amortize that loan over? It's almost like you make it so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You're
like
talking
a
about,
car payment.
hopefully we get $3,000 to $5,000 down. If we get $10,000 down on one of these houses, we're going to be feeling like, wow, we got all the money in the world. But it works even if we got almost nothing down and they just made payments.
Mike, if I made these 40-year loans, do you think those are just as sellable as 30-year loans? Or is there anything, or do note buyers not like 40-year loans? Because I'd love to push out these amortizations to get payments down for people and, keep my price high. And then when I go to sell these first position notes, I'm still getting a lump sum of cash up front. All right. Well, guys, let me know what you think. I'm excited about this. If you want to hear more about it, let me know. Somebody's asking here, can we use this strategy in Puerto Rico?
The strategy of selling these notes?
We are trying.
Yeah.
We're learning right now if you can.
We've
There's
never seen
definitely
anybody
less of a
do it,
market
but
for
we're
notes.
gonna start doing it. So why not, right? Like, if the question is there like something preventing someone from doing this strategy in Puerto Rico? I think the answer is no.
The big thing that prevents it is there are hedge funds and banks that buy these 30-year notes in the States. There are not the same buyers for Puerto Rican notes. So you need to find your own buyers. You need to go find your own people that want these Puerto Rican loans in their IRAs or whatever it is. So that's a little bit tougher, but that's the same as lending on the island. There's not really lending. They got to find private options.
Yep. How long do we normally go on a Tuesday night?
We're done.
I got my deal.
Oh,
Go through it real quick.
yeah, let's do it. Jose says yes, that would solve a big problem on the island. Totally agree.
It absolutely would, Jose, for sure. What do you guys think of this? I mean, I'm kind of really infatuated with trying to figure this business out. And I've done a lot of seller financing, even on the island of Puerto Rico. But every time we've sold something with seller financing, I literally do just become the bank. Like I was liking that as well. So I've got at the start of this year, we had $250,000 that paid off. At the start of next year, there's about $500,000 that's going to come due. And then the next year it's another 600. And so it starts to stack up, even just being the bank and knowing that, year after year, we're going to have these notes pay off for ourselves. This new method where you can create two notes and pull out most of the cash, that's super attractive, because then we can go invest the money somewhere else.
Yeah. Nancy also asked, will these people be able to afford taxes and insurance? I'm going to underwrite them. I'm going to check their employment history. I'm going to check their rental payment history. So I do think they'll be able to afford it. They'll know up front. Like, I'm going to help them. Like, hey, property taxes on this are $50 a month. Insurance on this is probably another $50 a month. So you need to make sure that you're calculating that in your total payment, right?
I do think it's very important that we do this underwriting. You never want to set someone up for failing, right? We don't want to have a bunch of defaulted mortgages in Monroe, Louisiana, and have to go deal with that down the road. So we want to set people up in an area or in a payment that they can win with, that they're going to be able to afford.
That's right. Adon, what do you got working on? What are you working on?
I have this new. I'm trying to find the picture of the front. I got it somewhere. Give me a second.
Classic. Everyone that presents a deal, no one has the photos.
I mean, I have everything else. I just don't have the damn photo. I don't know where I put it. But here, give me a second. But yeah, this is a duplex in Aguadilla. I'll show you exactly where it is now. I'll pop up the what's it called? Google Maps. Let's see here. So this duplex, they wanted originally $225 for it. I was able to bring them down all the way to $150. They're already done some work from what I've seen. It's not terrible. We'll go through the photos now. It's a 2-1 upstairs, a 2-1 downstairs. As you can see, they already put some windows in. They put some light fixtures. They painted it inside and out. It's not bad. They worked on some bathrooms, so I'll show you now. And then
it's a pretty good looking house, actually. And it's in the Pueblo of Aguadilla, which has really been getting invested in. We're seeing other people that have been there now for a few years, and we're hearing about the investment that is being made in the airport, and we're hearing about and seeing what's happening along the coast there in Aguadilla. It's a pretty, I would say, pretty up and coming. I think Isabella is a little further ahead, but Aguadilla is catching up fast.
Let me see if I can find pictures of the photos. So these are the layouts. This is the layout upstairs, downstairs. So a lot of this is where the kitchen would go. That's not in. The bathroom is done. The bathrooms and all the floors need to be worked on. There's some minor electrical we need to bring, like a 220 into here, some light into the bathroom. Everything else turns on. They have a laundry room right here. And then the upstairs, as you can see, already has everything. Beds. What we would do is replace the kitchen, replace doors. The bathroom is also in great condition, so not much has to be done up there. We do have to seal the roof and take care of some minor cracks, but it's nothing too scary that we haven't dealt with before. And let me see if I can take you through the photos real quick. Where are the insides? So my estimate so far is that we'll need about 40 grand to finish the units. So this is the bathroom downstairs. It's been remodeled. Looks great.
Doesn't need much at all.
And I'll tell you what, this is one of your major eaters of money in your estimates. It's just getting the bathroom ready. That's in Monroe right there. As you can see, the power's rigged up from the outside in, so that would have to change, but that's nothing too difficult. And we'll take you through the other side of the house. I don't like how they laid the tile, but I mean, the job is done. It doesn't look bad. Living room. Real quick. This is the living room. We're going to replace that door, paint the whole living room, put a new tile on the floor. This is just this is the laundry area. That's the hallway. That's the bathroom right there on the right, on the left. That's the old floor. They have all that old hydraulic tile, but the problem is it looks like it had tile on it before or something. So it really can't be saved. We're just gonna have to tile over it. This is the kitchen area. They made new drain, new pipes, so everything should be functioning well. New windows. So downstairs is almost completely done. You got the new window there. What else? This is some of the electric stuff that needs to be done. Need to bring power here. A couple other areas, but there's power inside the house, so that's a positive. They have a laundry room they started making, and back here is a little storage area under the stairs. Let's go. and then the bedrooms.
It's a pretty easy, straightforward renovation, and yeah, I mean, like really not much needs to be done on the top floor. The first floor needs the flooring in the kitchen, but I mean, this place is really clean, and it's in, I think, a very good area. This is our first go or second home we're buying in Aguadilla, but this is right in the Pueblo. Good
Yeah.
restaurants there. I it's right near the courthouse. It seems to me like it's got every reason to think we can be successful. And so
Yeah.
we're planning to move the money from the flip that we did in Carolina. We bought a foreclosure sale there. I don't know who's on the phone here, but if you're in that flip and we haven't told you about this, we were going to invite you to come in this deal with us. And we think that this one's going to be perhaps our fastest flip that we will have done yet. Right, Adon? I'm really hopeful that we can fix this and sell it before the end of the year.
Yep. That's what the hope is. And then this is the upstairs. Looks decent. You know, we'll probably get rid of those floors as well. See, those are the cracks I'm talking about. That's nothing out of the ordinary here. We'll be able to.
You guys, Emanuel's everywhere. He just goes and goes and looks at everything.
He does the way you're supposed to. What else? I'll let you look at one of these. Let's look at the kitchen real quick, and then we'll jump into one of the bedrooms. This is the kitchen. So it's got that rustic, you know, surfer vibe kitchen. I would get rid of this, put a really nice kitchen in there. But, you know, most of the work is already done. So it's only changing some cabinets. We'll keep that hot plate stove on and, you know, just make everything else work with it, around it. And then there's Emanuel again. She just loves being in my pictures. And then bedrooms, and that's pretty much it. And then it's got a nice balcony that looks out to the water. We went at night, so you really can't see it. But I'll show you now on Google Maps where it is. I know some people see that and they want to cry, but it's not that bad.
No, this house is in really good condition.
It's in really good shape.
Even as you're doing the pictures, and I've been there a few times, I'm like, man, this is like the easiest renovation we'll have ever done.
Yeah. So it's really more aesthetics and finishing the downstairs. And here, let me show you on Google Maps. So this is our Centro Judicial de Aguadilla, where we go and where we bought our last foreclosure flip. And then it's literally right here. That's the house. And then you follow the street all the way down. Here's the ocean. From the balcony, you can see the ocean. And then you go up some ways, you have the beach right here. And it's a really good area. Went on a Friday. There was a, what would you call that? Some sort
like
of
a market, a little festival, a market even.
It was
I think
pretty fun.
Yep.
So
Definitely this Pueblo's popping. Like you go in some Pueblos and there's no people. Every time we've been down there, this place is doing really well.
yeah, and I got asked about comps a lot. So this is what I found in the area. So this is one that's on market right now. They're selling for $275. This 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, so comparable to ours, and almost the same square footage as ours. I haven't looked to see where this one's at, but it looks like it's close to ours as well. So that one's there. And that one's there. We are down here.
Will it rehab?
You're less than a quarter of a mile away.
Yeah, it's a very good comparable.
Yeah.
Alan was asking, will it be rehabbed and sold before or after the last auction win in Aguadilla?
This
wow,
one
we're renovating that house already, Alan. So
yeah,
I think that house is going to be finished and sold because we're already starting on it. I'd be shocked if we don't sell the foreclosure house before we sell this one. But it could sell quicker just because it's in the Pueblo. You never know. But I think
Well, the plan.
this is an easier renovation and maybe a little bit cuter of a house. The other one, I like the area for different reasons. It's a more rural, but and the houses around it are pretty nice. So I think it's a race.
I mean, I would say our timeline on the one in Aguadilla, the first duplex,
The one we're currently doing.
is about 27 days. That's the goal for the contractor.
So we're looking at finishing the renovation around the same time we're going to close on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. We've raised about $110,000. If you guys are interested, reach out to me on Apex. I already have a couple other people reaching out to me, and we're gonna hopefully we raise all the money we need in this week. Next week, we'll just close it then and there and take over and start working on that.
We could speed things up if we close quicker too, huh? Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's it.
Does anyone else have a deal? I mean, I feel like this was pretty good, and we've been going for longer than we normally do. But if somebody else has got a dynamite deal, let's do one more. And if not, we'll do it next week. So
we don't have anyone in the lobby waiting to present a deal. But
I can say the numbers. So we'll probably resell it. So ARV 275. If you want to pull up the numbers there on your calculator, McKenna.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Yamil is looking for their first one. Monica's, I'm not in Apex yet. Monica, I just put the link. Come in and join, and then you can present.
Yeah, please.
If you've got a deal right now, Monica, you can join and come on.
Join now, present now.
Join now, present now. 1 second, Adon. Let me get this calculator. All right, guys. I'm ready, Adon.
So the ARV is 275, and then full purchase and renovation. So we're buying it for 150. Probably do 40 of renovation in it. So looking at hopefully an 85% profit. I probably minus 8% for closing costs.
You got to take off closing costs and stuff. We won't net 85.
We're
Do
closer
275 minus 7 or 8%, McKenna, and then subtract off 190. It'll give us a hopeful net.
I'm sorry, that was wrong. 275
minus 8%.
Minus what was the purchase?
190. I mean,
call it 190 purchase and renovation.
Yeah.
63,000.
What's the cap rate on that?
63,000 on 190.
33%. If you guys are getting half and the investors are getting half.
Yep.
That's a 16.5% return to the money, 16.5% to you guys.
And we're thinking we'll have the money. We're going to try to turn and burn this thing. So, by the way, Don's saying 275. We've had two realtors that gave us kind of comparative analysis or broker's price opinion, and they were both 285 plus. But I like the 275 number better. So if we get more, that'll be great. But
what is your timeline on this? 9 months?
No, we're thinking that we could close on it if we had the money today, we could close before
we have a 30 days
month and be out of it before the end of the year.
I think 30 days to close it, 30 days to fix it, and then hopefully 2 months on market, so 4 months maybe.
That's a 33% if you annualize that to the cash to the money.
Yeah, if we do it in 6 months.
You do it in 6 months, that's a 33% return, guys, because based on an annualized return, which is what everyone and their mother does. So
yeah. That's how I've done it for 25 years. That's how I've calculated returns. Especially that's why it's super attractive, I think, to the people who just closed out a deal, is roll the money into this one so the money stays working. And I think that we'd have a realistic chance at getting their money in the two deals done in about a year at around that 30% return, which would be freaking phenomenal.
Yeah. If you get a 30% return, you double your money every 3 years.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
What is it?
Now-
72 divided by 33? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah, every 2 years.
Where'd you get the
Wow.
72 from?
That's like
The
a
rule of
math.
72.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know. It's some weird thing that people made up. I don't know where it's from, Adon. All right. Monica says that they're going to present a deal next week. Monica, I'm excited to see it in St.
Yep.
Pete, Florida. I love St. Pete, Florida, so I'm
too.
very curious to see it.
McKenna's mother graduated from Stetson University Law School there in St. Pete.
That's a great place. All right, guys.
I went to St. Pete on my honeymoon with her.
Before we go, I didn't know that.
I went to the Don Cesar.
This is Emanuel, and in just 3 weeks, he found the deal of a lifetime, negotiated an offer, got it accepted, found the EMD from a third party, me, and then found the buyer to sell it. Now, how did he do all of that? He's a member of the Flip Flop Flipper Apex community. And inside of Apex, he was able to find the buyer who's an operator. He was able to find someone who wanted to put up the money, and he's got the deal of a lifetime done, and is going to make $40,000 on his very first deal. So if that sounds good to you, and you want to be like Emanuel, comment Apex, and I'll send you the link.
If you want to be like Emanuel, join Apex.
You
Guys,
I
if
like,
you like,
I like that clip right there, bragging about Emanuel so much more than I like the one we were doing for the last month or so.
yeah, with the bus tour.
Really, what that young guy has done is what we're all about here in this whole community. He found a great deal. He brought it to the community. He found a buyer. He's making a nice fee, a wholesale fee for himself. Aaron St. John is doing something where he's been looking for a hospitality play for 3 years, and he partnered with Steve, who is doing his first deal on the island of Puerto Rico. So 3 people from Apex all doing deals together. And what's better than that? That's what we want to see.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Guys, if you liked this show and you want to be on next week with a deal, join Apex. Other than that, have a good night.
Awesome, guys. Have a good night. God bless.
good night.